All right, we got Austin Allen, and we'll have Ben Stilley after Austin. And I'm just catching up on the chat here on if I've got a question request. I'll just put someone on the spot. Brian Christopherson, 24/7 Sports.
Okay. Hey, Austin, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It sounds like you're having a really good camp personally. Just what was your motivation coming out of last year, and like just how you've kind of got yourself to this point where it feels like you're on the climb a bit?
Yeah, there was a lot of times last year. The feeling of being so close to being great was evident, and a lot of times, and in a lot of plays we were playing, and in the tight end room especially, it was evident after the Iowa game that we never wanted to feel that way again. Looking around at my teammates in the tight end room, looking at our faces, I know I never wanted to see that face ever again after Iowa. So that's been the motivation for me personally to grind this off season and into this fall camp.
Thank you.
Good job, BC. Parker Gabriel, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, Austin, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So we've heard from Coach Beckton and Frost too about the tight ends needing to be more involved this year, particularly in the passing game. I guess where does that start in your mind? I mean, obviously, a quarterback's got to throw you the ball and all that, but to be more involved, like what is the key for that to actually happen going forward this fall?
I think that puts a lot on the shoulders of our receiving core. They really got to step up their game. We got great athletes out there. When you got great athletes on the outside, that really opens up the whole offense. And as the tight ends, we've become better route runners. Coach Lubick coming in has a great scheme for us, new concepts, new everything. That's really going to help us get open. He loves big body guys, and that's what we got in the tight end room. We got 4 guys in the tight end room with a lot of game time experience, with the addition of Travis this year being eligible. I think we just got a lot of guys that's really going to help us in the tight end room, and ultimately in the tight end room it begins with us blocking. No block, no rock was a theme that the receivers had last year, and I think that goes with the tight ends. We got to block first, and that'll open us up in the passing game as well.
Michael Bruntz, 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Austin, you mentioned Travis. We obviously haven't seen him, but what does he kind of bring to that group, and maybe what are his strengths?
Yeah, he's obviously got a very nice frame. He's 6'7", 265. Like, that's an ideal frame for a tight end. He didn't necessarily, with talking with him at Rutgers, didn't necessarily get a lot of teaching in the run game, and he had some help in the pass game there. But coming here, he's learned a lot, especially with the red shirt year last year. Coach Beck has really worked with him, and he's become one heck of a blocker for us. He's using his frame and his size well. He's applying that to the field, and even in the pass game, he's using his body. He's been making a lot of big body catches, and that's what you can ask out of a guy like him.
Kevin Suits. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, Austin, big win for your Aurora Huskies here this past week. Wanted to ask you about just where you guys are at in terms of preparation here for the upcoming game against Ohio State. Still a week away plus. Do you feel like you guys are getting to that point that you're ready to zone in on opponent prep and be ready to be on the field here in just over a week?
Yeah. Shout out the Huskies. They beat the number 1 team in the state. That's awesome. But yeah, this whole camp, we've known that we got a big target with Ohio State coming up. Coach Frost knows that, and we've been grinding. He's got us in the best shape I think we've ever been in. We've been running more than we've ever ran. We've been conditioning just up tempo more than we ever have been, and that's what Coach Frost wants to see, and that makes me feel better about what we got going into the game. I know I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. That gives me confidence that I'm not going to be able to lag off in an 8-play drive. And that goes across the board. Everybody's in better shape. Throughout this whole camp, we've been kind of installing little bits here and there for Ohio State, which has been helpful for us going into a big game like this. And I think now we're starting to really turn our eyes towards Ohio State, because that's the big task we got at hand now.
Eric Olson, Associated Press.
Yeah, Austin, I was just curious, how much college football have you been watching, and is that difficult for you at all when the other three of the other major conferences are playing?
Yeah, it has been difficult for me. It's been a roller coaster for sure of emotions. We're playing, we're not playing. Um, it's sometimes kind of nice watching some college football from other conferences these last couple weeks, just to be able to apply what I know to their game and be like, this guy needed to do that a little bit better. It's helped me learn a little bit, seeing what other conferences are doing. It's been tough for sure, knowing that they're out there playing, but we'll get our time. We got games coming up, and we'll take care of business.
Omaha World Herald, Evan Bland.
Hey, Austin, I'm just curious, what were some of your takeaways maybe from the scrimmage you guys had on Saturday, and maybe how in general has this quicker ramp up to full contact, I guess, how different has that been to navigate compared to a typical season?
Yeah, it was for sure a change of tide from not having pads on for 9 months to the urgency of us being able to get into full contact practices right away. That's been tough for sure, but it was nice to see in the scrimmage. We got backs that are hitting the hole harder than they ever have. It's nice to see the pads popping, and it's beneficial for everybody all around. Linebackers are going to fill the holes quicker than what we've been used to the last 9 months essentially, and that's only making us better. It's helping us mature real quick from what we're used to.
Looks like we got 3 more here for Austin. Steve Sipple, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, Austin, you just answered my question. I appreciate it. You can move on, Keith.
Oh, thanks, Sip. Sam McEwen, Omaha World Herald.
Austin, I know it's not a new offense schematically, and there's a lot of similarities, but in so many of the players that have talked over the last couple of weeks, it does feel like something is different with Matt Lubick there. And you mentioned it in what feels different about year three's offense compared to maybe the first 2 years, and what do you like about the difference?
Yeah, there's obviously Coach Lubick he was in Oregon's offense when Frost was there. He obviously knows what Frost is trying to accomplish across the board. With him going to a couple different schools in between from then and now, has allowed him to apply more schemes and brings them back to what Frost wants to offer, and they're kind of meshing a little bit, and that's awesome. What we've been running at practice has been working. It's cool to see that he can bring something else to what we're used to, and our understanding in year 3 of what Frost has wanted has been great. Now we're adding some nuances to it, and it's making the whole offense better as a whole, which is really nice to see, knowing that these last couple of years, I love this offense, I love what we're running, but sometimes you see stuff that that could be a little bit better, and the addition of Coach Lubick has been allowing us to see where potentially we can be.
And last one for Austin, Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
Hey, Austin, similar question there about the some of the changes on offense. In terms of the personnel with new guys really at every position group, you mentioned Travis at the tight ends. What are you seeing that those guys have brought, specifically who's impressed you at receiver, running back, some of the places that you haven't talked about here?
Yeah. Outside in the receiving core, I see a lot of speed. I think that's something we'll see a lot of in this fall. Even in the receiving core, I've seen a lot of walk-ons that are stepping up into the game. Obviously, you hear a lot. Cade Warner's scholarship now, but his leadership is unmatched in the receiving core. I live with him, and he's having guys over every Monday night football, Thursday night football. He's having guys. He said, let's just watch some Monday night football, Thursday night football, and we'll have a whiteboard in the living room, and he'll say, let me talk you through this defense. Let me talk you through this offense. So Cade Warner's leadership has been unmatched in the receiving core, and that's helped all these receivers, these new receivers that are new to the program, as a whole, get a lot better. I think in the quarterback room, I think there's a true competition. Luke McCaffrey's obviously showed a lot of great things. I think some people might have mentioned that, and Adrian's still doing some really great things too. So I think it's going to help us as a whole in the quarterback room that we got 2 really great guys back there that are battling for position, and as a whole offense, that's going to make us better. In the line room, lining up to Bryce Benhart when he's at a right tackle, He's learning for sure. He's done a lot of great things for us. Big body guy. He's as his camp has gone on, I can just see how much smarter he's gotten in our schemes, in our run game, and that's really been beneficial for him because he's been able to up his details. He's got the understanding of the offense now, and now he's working on his details, and that's making him a better football player.
Okay, thank you, Austin. We will have Ben Stilley here shortly, probably before Coach Frost, and then we'll have Coach Frost. Thanks.